All right, Shalom Yasharallah, Shalom Israel. Before we go any further within this lesson, I want to open up by giving all praises, honor, and glory with infinite blessings unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. And I also want to give double honors to our beloved elder bishops and to the elder apostles of Great Millstone that teach well and that rule well, with much blessings and salutations always going out to the Lord's elect. All right, you hopeful elect, which consists of you Akim, Wafi, Akwaf that are tuning in, and into the men laboring within his truth, scattered across the four corners of the earth, wherever you may be. All right, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatham, and to you and into your households, man. All right, as we're living in the latter days, these the end times, all right, so to say, all right, as the scripture, calls it, man. Okay, this is the end. But real quick, just gonna answer, the questions that Jake, is concerned about. Why he's concerned about all these things, which we're gonna play this video. All right, and you're gonna hear him, complaining about the state that the world is in today, and the people in which, it's all
Sometimes
due
I just be
to
wondering if it's me
prophecy.
or life getting weird about a
All
day.
right,
Family getting
so
faker, niggas getting faker, nobody got no love, nobody got no emotions, everybody tough as hell, buff as hell. I don't get it. Everybody fly, ain't nobody keeping that shit 100. You got females like require you to have some shit they don't got. You got niggas mad cause you got shit that they don't got. Like, this shit just getting worse by the day, and you can feel it in the energy. Like, world feels so dull. You wake up and
yeah, and it's going to actually get worse about the day. I just get to say. So before we can even finish this video, I do want to grab this. All right, because Jake is complaining about, all right, the state of the world, and really the people. All right, how there is no, there's no integrity, morality, okay, respect for one another. All right, because truth be told, bro, we in those times, and all right, as the days pass by, as the days go on, not as if we're going to be here forever, but as these days you know pass, okay, the evils are only going to increase that we see on this place, man. All right, so the flawedness, the fakeness, okay, the snake, okay, betrayal behavior is only going to increase, all right, amongst these people, because scripture says this, all right, how the world has grown weaker through age. All right, so 2nd Ezra chapter 14, and we can start at verse 14. All right, because really, man, once you get this understanding, the truth of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, you got to understand that it's more than just the people. Okay, it's more than just the flesh that you see, the carnal things, man. It's really, all right, the spirits that's on these people, and also they're bound by prophecy, bro. So 2nd Ezra chapter 14 and verse 14, it says, "Let go from thee mortal thoughts. All right, cast away the burdens of man, put off not the weak nature." All right, the emotions, okay, the things of this world, in which the people of this world esteem to be something worth living for. All right, because we're approaching a time to where all these things, these tangible things, these physical things, from your home, your car, your families, okay, All right, really, all these things are going to perish, bro. All right, especially if they don't, they're not, you know, um, especially if they aren't in this truth. Okay, if they're not calling upon Yahweh Shema Shai, all right, you know, if they have not repented and came back to Yahweh Shema Shai, man, all right, you better off counting them as they already dead, bro. All right, and that's just letting go, or these, having those mortal thoughts of, you know, uh, asking certain questions like, damn, why my people don't mess with me? All right, why is my cousin, he acting strange now? Why my wife, my husband, or my uncle, or whoever family member, friend, they acting strange, or they switching up. All right, because bro, it's just, that's just the time we in. All right, the book of Matthew tells us, all right, how the Lord is going to put that spirit here on this earth, man. And especially here in Babylon the Great, where this so-called United States is really a divided state. All right, and this current administration with Trump, all right, is the Lord is allowing, is using him to set the stage for these civil wars, these race wars. All right, these class wars. Okay, gender wars, male against female. All right, blacks against whites. All right, which we understand that that's Esau versus Jacob. Okay, the Israelites, against the Edomites. All right, even these class wars, these elites against the working class. We're gonna see these type of divisions. All right, and we're gonna see the true the spirit of these people in these latter days come out to truly who they really is. It's because that's what the Lord wants for this place, bro. All right, so 2 Corinthians 14:15 says, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee. All right, which this can be very heavy into somebody that doesn't have the understanding. Like this Jake, he going into it. He said, it's like the days are getting weirder and weirder. The people are getting more weirder and etc. And it's because, man, this is the end. All right, it's just the end of all that. Okay, the end of this current world as you know it. All right, starting with the so-called white man, woman, and child. All right, the biblical Edomites. All right, and anything that's attached to this place. All right, it's going to see, their demise in Babylon the Great. All right, aka America. All right, and it says, "And haste thee to flee from these times," and that's the whole point. You shouldn't be worried about how these people are moving. All right, the whole point is for you to prepare yourself to be able to, escape from the evils that's about to approach here on this earth through the plagues of pestilence and the destruction which Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, is going to bring here to the shores of Babylon the Great, man. All right, and to these people. All right, it's judgment season, man. It's time of judgment, heavy time of prophecy in which the Lord, all right, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, is about to start judging this world, as 2 Corinthians 9:1 tells you, in which he made, So you're supposed to separate yourself from these people, all right? These same people that are moving weird, okay, that's in, this off evil vibration, all right? Because, truth be told, man, once this society comes to a whole and complete collapse, those are the same people you complaining about, or you speaking on, will be the same people seeking after your life. All right, or would do something very sinister, evil, to you, in order to save theirs. All right, verse 15 says, "For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. All right. So what's taking place right here, right now, from these cases of murder, homicide, the vile, wicked acts that the people are doing to each other. The crazy stories that you're hearing, the love that's being lost from one another. It's only going to get worse. All right. It's going to only escalate, man. And it's going to get worse as these times increase. All right. It says, for yet greater evils, which means bad times. All right. Then those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. So, you think, today was, bad, or yesterday was bad. Just wait for tomorrow. All right. And wait for the rest of the days to come by. All right. Those evils is going to only increase more and more by the day. All right. Especially when there is no food out here. Okay. There's no medicine. Okay. There is no comfortability. All right. There's no no shelter. All right. It's going to be a famine out here, bro. It's going to get worse. All right. So it says, for look how much the world shall be weaker through age. All right. So the world is weaker through age. And that's just not going to the world, it's going into the people as well, the inhabitants. All right. Their morals is dead. They don't have any morals. They don't have any integrity. They don't have, all right. They're losing, that compassion which they once had, bro. All right. It's depleting from them, bro. All right. People are moving weird, acting weird. And in these days, you can't trust nobody, bro. All right. And that's the spirit Yahweh Bashim Ashai wants these people in. Okay. Because he has said that the Egyptians shall be against the Egyptians. And that's what we're about to see take place.
Feel so dull. You wake up and it's the same fuck shit. Sometimes I just be wondering if it's me or life getting weird about a day. Family getting faker. Niggas getting faker. Nobody got no love. Nobody got no emotions. Everybody tough as hell. Buff as hell. I don't get it. Everybody fly. Ain't nobody keeping that shit 100. You got females like require you to have some shit they don't got. You got niggas mad because you got shit that they don't got. Like, this shit just getting worse by the day, and you can feel it in the energy. Like, world feels so dull. You wake up and
yeah, that's the tone, all right, the spirit which the Lord has set in Babylon the Great, bro. All right, because the Lord has set it up to where this place will be destroyed.
it's the same fuck shit from the same bitches
in
your life,
and
they're like, oh, they're like, get away from this person. I don't even be around the people I grew up with, bro, or some of my family members. But even the ones I meet that's new, y'all don't be no better. Especially if you tell a nigga what you got going, like what you been through. They like, they'll go, oh, never tell a nigga what you been through. They finna use that same shit you just told them against you on purpose, like intentionally, like.
Yeah, you don't do that. It's not wise. All right. It says approve a friend. Okay. And, you're not supposed to accept every person or every man. All right. But 2 Ezra 14:17, for look how much the world shall be weaker through age. All right. So if the world is weak and the people that dwell on here is going to be weak. All right. And so, due to the processed food, okay, the devices that Esau Edom, the wicked one, has set up, ultimately to exterminate, and off the people of the world, because that's part of his agenda as well. All right, to deplete, all right, billions of people off this earth, and he's doing it in many ways and fashions and forms, bro. Okay, through the air, through the technology, okay, through the philosophy. All right, through mainly also the medicine, the food, all these forms, okay, even the clothes, bro, all these forms of devices, okay, that Esau Edom has weaponized, to get rid of the people. And not only is that, destroying their bodies, but it's altering their minds. All right. Even this whole, economic collapse, which is happening. All right. In which, because, bro, Babylon's fucking done, bro. If you paying attention, you'll see this place is collapsing. The economy is dying. This is putting pressure and strain on many of the people to where, all right, they're only going to be able to, really, they're only going to care about themselves, man. All right, at the end of the day. So we're seeing where this is going to go and how this is going to shift. All right. But it says, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. All right. So more evils, meaning bad times. All right. And when people are going through tribulations and bad times, all right, they ain't thinking about anything else but trying to, not go through the shit they're going through. But it's going to be too late because the Lord is going to keep turning up on y'all ass, man. All right. It says, shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. So the Lord going to just keep turning up on you people, man. All right. Because y'all fucking wicked. All right. You wicked as hell. All right. So, 2/3 of our people, you Jakes, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. All right. Men, women, and child. And then the rest of you heathens, y'all are fucking wicked, man. So the Lord's going to turn up on you people with plagues. All right. Not only that, he's going to send, he's going to have you people take each other out. What was that, Isaiah 19? What was it, 14, 19? Bear with me for a second. Ooh, call lawyer by my shy spirit. So this is the book of Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 2. And it says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. All right. And this is speaking about America, bro. Babylon the Great. Because we understand how Babylon, all right, spiritually Egypt, spiritually Sodom. All right. In this place, okay, we'll see. All right, you're going to see conflict. You're going to see warfare. You're going to see bloodshed, man. All right, and you're going to see chaos, anarchy when, shit so-called hits the fan, as they say. All right, when this economy collapses, all right, there is no more food on the shelves. Okay, there are no more resources when the famine comes in, which the Lord is going to pour in, all right, through his, his wrath. All right. When the Lord sends this famine, man, you're going to have people out here defending for themselves. All right. You ain't going to be no more buddy, trust, amigo, brother, cousin. Ain't going to be no more of that, man. All right. You're going to have these so-called civilized, law-abiding citizens, all right, turn into some Mad Max type shit, man. Okay. You're going to see these things happen. You got movies like The Road, shit. You got Mad Max. You got The Purge. Okay, the Book of Eli, to give you these examples. But even those movies, all right, not hitting on a flip. Okay, when with the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai is about to do to America, man. All right, really into, the destruction and death he's going to bring to this world. All right, so Isaiah 19 and 2, and it says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. All right, you Americans against you Americans, man. And which y'all are already at each other's necks. Okay, either be Democrats, Republicans, all right, or either be blacks against whites, or Latinos against, bro. It's divided. Just on all forms of levels, it's just division everywhere you go. All right. And it says, and they shall fight everyone against his brother. Yeah, against his brother. So the Edomite, so-called white man, gonna be against so-called white man. All right. Same nation. You motherfuckers gonna be going at each other as well. And it says, and everyone against his neighbor. All right, city against city and kingdom against kingdom. Yeah, neighbors, even your neighbor that live next to you. All right, because guess what? He got a family to feed. He got to fend for his family. He got to fend for himself. All right, and that's what's going to get to the point where people are going to get so selfish. All right, and and basically, bro, they're going to do, as Ezra tells us, they're going to do exactly what they can. All right, to survive these evils, man, these times, these bad times, bro. all right, of famine, of pestilence, of, of the sword going out, man, of war, going down to a city near you, as it says right here, city against city and kingdom against kingdom, and that's what we're gonna see. All right, so let's grab this real quick. We have this Matthew. What was that? Matthew 10. Where is that, bro? Matthew 10:24. I think that's what it is. Ooh. Ooh, that's spirit. It's even better. Matthew chapter 10 and verse 34. It says, think not that I am come. All right, Salakia. And before we go any further, I want to make it known that this red letter is Yahweh Shai speaking. So the Lord is letting you know, all right, and this is the one you people English call Jesus Christ. All right, Yahweh Shai. So Matthew 10 and 34, it says, think not that I am come to send peace on earth. All right. So the Lord is not coming to send any peace. All right. There's no peace. Okay. No peace at all. All right. And it says it right there. All right. In red letters for you to see it. It says, I came not to send peace, but a sword. All right. And what a sword does, it cuts, man. It divides. So the Lord is coming to send division to the land, to the world, to the earth, in which we already seen division. You have nations fighting against each other. You have, oh shit, Salakia, races going against each other. All right, you got all type of division that's taking place, man. All right, families against their own children. Each other. All right, and exactly that's what's about to take place, man. Division. Verse 35 says, for I am come to set a man at variance. All right. Against his father. So let's get this word variance real quick, because that's what the Lord is about to come to do. He's going to send. All right. Okay. Turmoil amongst, loved ones. Variance. It says fact of undergoing change. Yeah. So change. It says alteration, change. All right. So people are going to change state of disagreement. They're going to change their thought process, their feelings. They're going to change who they are. Okay. It's going to be like a switch that was flipped. Okay. And that's the spirit. That's a spirit that the Lord is going to put upon these people, man. All right. Cold, evil spirit, to where they're going to just switch up upon their mothers, their brothers, their friends, their cousins, their lovers. All right. It's gonna be some scary ass shit. All right. But that's what the Lord said he's going to do. He's going to do it. And he's already doing it. All right. Matthew 10 and verse 35 says, for I am come to set a man at variance against his father. So you don't have, all right, the son against his father. All right. And it says, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes, meaning enemies, that's what foes mean. So a man's enemies shall be they of his own household. So and that's exactly what this Jake going into, man. All right. But it's only going to increase more, to the point to where people are going to be taking each other's lives. Okay. They're going to be killing each other, man. Offing each other. All right. Because they disagree. All right. Or, due to the lack of food. All right. The lack of necessities, man. The comfortabilities of Babylon the Great. And that's what's coming down the line. And this Jake don't know that, but bro, it's only going to get worse. That's why that's why Yahweh Shai said, who are my mother, who are my brother? Okay, who is and it's those that do the work of the Lord. Because once this shit hit the fan and it gets ugly, which is gonna get ugly, all right, the same ones that say they love you are going to be the same ones that's going to persecute the body. All right. Meaning those that are outside of this truth. Okay, your family members, all right, brothers and sisters, your family, it's a high chance some of your family members or whoever, they gonna switch up on you, bro. All right. Those that are, if they be outside of the truth, there's a high chance that they have the possibility of switching up on you, bro. Okay, and persecuting you, coming after you, because we're coming into a time of persecution, bro. Great persecution. All right. So Matthew 24 and verse 12, and it says, and because iniquity, all right, shall abound, which iniquity goes into sin upon sin upon sin, all right, because of the evils that's going to take place. You're going to have a lot of people committing, mass sin. And sin already, taking place here in Babylon the Great. It tells you how, the sins of this place have reached into the heavens, all right, where the Lord dwells. So this ain't nothing new, all right. This is already going on, all right. Sin is just going on so freely, and it's just flowing as a river, all right, that it's going to abound, all right. It's going to be so great, all right, and so so much out there, all right, that the people, the spirit of these people are going to turn, bro. These people are going to have demons on them, all right. It says the love of many shall wax cold, all right, because they're just racking up in wickedness, So once these things happen, all right, they're going to resort to the things that they know, all right, which is wickedness, doing evil things, all right, and they're going to do these things to each other's with no remorse, no regret. That's why I said the love of many shall wax cold. So the love of another is going to, it's not going to be there no more. The sincerity, the compassion, the love, affection that was had for family members or friends, or the average everyday person that you see, man, it's not gonna be there, man. It's gonna be replaced with hatred, man. All right, envy. All right, due to these evils, man, you're gonna have people in better situations than others, which is gonna lead to variance. All right, disagreements are gonna lead to people being killed, getting robbed. All right, it's gonna be bad out here, bro. The Bible tells us about these things. All right, and this is why. All right, we don't think about it as much as others do. Like, damn, why he did this, why he do this, why they do that? Because, bro, it was written for these people to be this way, bro. All right, it was written for them to switch up, to change up, man. It's a part of the script. All right, but we got to stick to the script as well, as in hastening to flee from these things, man, to not let these mortal things get to us, because these people are going to be consumed, all right, by these prophecies, man, in these times, these latter times, because they don't know what's going on. All right, but we do, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. All right, so hopefully this answers, his question. All right, because you think, them acting funny now is bad. Wait till you see when they ain't got no food. All right, wait till you see when they getting kicked out, getting evicted. All right, they can't work, they ain't got no money, they can't do nothing. All right, that idleness is going to bring forth sin. All right, them being idle, what they gonna do? They gonna do what they know best. All right, commit all type of fucking,
stop trying to purpose, like sin, intentionally, man. Like That's why people don't open up, and I see why now. Sometimes I just be wondering if it's me or life getting weird about a day. Family getting faker, niggas getting faker. Nobody got no love. Nobody got no emotions. Everybody tough as hell, buff as hell. I don't get it. Everybody fly, ain't nobody.
Because they're in that vibration of Esau, Edom. All right. Scripture says, he that is evil to himself. All right. So Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 14:5 says, he that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? All right. All right. And bro, Jake is in this same spirit. The people of this world is in this same spirit. All right. They don't take care of themselves. They don't love themselves. All right. Because if they did, they would follow after the ways of Yahweh Shemar Shai and to keep the law, statutes, commandments, because that is true life and love. You know, if you love yourself, man, you're going to put down the crab, the shrimp, pork, lobsters. You're going to stop committing adultery. You're going to stop, okay, worshiping false idols and these gods, because you know that these certain things that you do, all right, lead to you getting fucked up and jacked up, man. But Jake don't love themselves, man. Okay. They don't care about themselves. All right. And guess what? Esau, Edom, damn sure don't give a damn about you, Jakes, man. So it says, he that is evil to himself. Sorry, actually, let me read it. Ecclesiasticus 14:5 says, he that is evil to himself, all right, which is Esau, Edom. Our people follow after him. All right. And they have that vibration upon them, that darkness, okay, upon them from this devil. It says, to whom will he be good? All right. So if Jake not caring about themselves, not taking care of themselves, you know, which is ultimately, you know, it's coming back to, you know, Yahweh Shema Shine, the ways of the Lord, following, you know, repenting, you know, and coming back to Yahweh Shema Shai, bro, they're not going to be good to themselves, because it's in the law to love thy neighbor, bro. It's in the scriptures. That's the commandment. Love thy neighbor. You know what I'm saying? Because you love your neighbor, you obviously love yourself. But if you can't love your neighbor, how you going to love yourself? You know what I'm saying? How you going to love one another? Okay. So, it's, you know, it's Esau, bro. All right. It says, to whom will he be good? And so we're going to see a lot of these people, in which they already do today, bro. It's just going to increase more and more. Finesse each other, backdoor each other, set each other up, you know, do all this weird, wicked ass shit. You know, that's why we got to get the fuck out of Babylon, bro, and stay away from these people, bro. All right, they're waxing worse and worse. You know, I hate a nigga that try to, bro. I hate a nigga that try to get close to me, bro, or try to talk to me. Like, bro, get away from me. You know, if you don't fear Yahweh Shema Shai, I don't want nothing to do with you, bro, because I already know your nature. I know who you are. I know who you serve. If you're not serving the Lord, bro, you're serving Esau, Edom. And his spirit is all in you. Okay, he was a murderer from the beginning and abode not the truth. You are your father, the devil. I don't want nothing to do with you, man. Okay, and I'm pretty sure we speak for all the bros. We don't want anything to do with you people, bro. Just stay away from us, man. All right? And it says, he shall not take pleasure in his goods. All right? And, you know, Esau not going to take pleasures in these things he's racking up. All right? Because the Lord's going to come back and he's going to destroy all this shit, man, via thermonuclear destructions. But even before that, he going to use these plagues and these pestilences, all right, and the rest of these people, all right, these NPCs, all right, to destroy each other and to destroy the society, man. But, hey, you know, hopefully this lesson was edifying, you know, and I hope, you know, Jake got his answers, which he probably not even going to see this video, but this is for the edification's sake of the elect, man. So, Lord, when this lesson was edifying, in closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory with infinite blessings unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem.